This is game 2 of the finals that we are going into. Chat games whenever we are back on. This is game 2 of the finals, guys. This could be the last game for tonight, or Cheese Enema can hoo-ha their way to victory with some of their insanity strats. Which, that looked good for the first little while. But then Payzel and Child Support was kind of able to battleship up and Pac-Man around the map, if that makes any sense. They grouped up, they went and found people out by themselves, killed one or two of them, and then kind of sat there and said, alright, we managed to pick one or two people off. If we stay clustered up and on our side of the map, we can respond to top or mid really easily. They never really extended onto the enemy side of the map, unless they got, like, a monumental win. If they got a partial win, they would go, hey, we're ahead by 1 or 2 kills right now, so it's imbalanced, 5-3 or 4-2 or whatever. And they can't make a play, but they're going to try to make a play with Shaco. So what we're going to do is we're going to back up a little bit and hang out on our side of the map and then respond if they go for some of that pressure. And that really treated them very well, I think.
It'll be interesting to see if Cheese Enema decides to stick with another unorthodox strat, or if they're going to try and play this one by the books this game.
Now, Cheese Enema they can pull from a very wide variety of strats. So they can play Chaos, which is what I like to refer to as what they just did, where it wasn't just Shaco backcapping, it was Jarvan's going to go over here, and sometimes Jarvan's going to help out Shaco, so it's 2 people backcapping, and they kill Evelynn, and then just lots of zany what's going on here. And then there's also, they also play, I've seen them play Triple Assassin before, which, that can be startlingly effective, or it can be kind of normally effective, and sometimes it falls flat. But that's not really the Cheese Enema way. It's a, what's going to happen this time? And we roll the dice, and if it comes up with 2 6s, then your zap gun explodes. Wait, wrong game. You get the idea, though. But seeing the chat bans here, yeah, Infeed's Challenger, man, someone asking in the chat, he came to play. The top-level Dominion guys do play a lot of the other game modes as well. A lot of them are ranked at various ranks. I don't know what they're at this season. It rolled over, didn't it? I know they were really high last season. I don't know where the season started and ended because we don't really have seasons in Dominion. But the chat bans, hopefully someone copy-paste started to talk about them. I got distracted by the Twitch chat. Captain Jack HY, man! Bible thump, sad face.
The chat bans were Eve, Lulu, Cassidin, and Zyra.
Cool. Sounds like we have a volunteer to talk about them.
Alright, well, Eve, as we saw last game, is very good at assassination, very good at stealth, very good at intercepting in the jungle and in bottom lane. Probably wanting to ban her out just to get rid of any potential backdoor or counter backdoor. You have Lulu, the very good support champion, very good at throwing out any kind of crowd control you can imagine except for knock-up and silence, I guess. She's very good at poke, she's very good at keeping her team alive. It's just, there's literally nothing a Lulu can't do. Cassidin, pretty much the premier ban here on Dominion, is it kind of goes, if you have a Cassidin and your enemy team doesn't, they almost kind of lose by default. His kit is just that insane here on the map. He can leap through any of the terrain, he can silence you, he can slow you, he can build tanky, and his burst isn't bad at all. Zyra, she's fairly good at building up siege situations on turrets where it makes it really hard to assault it dead on, because you're going to have the poke coming down from the turret, you're going to have the poke coming down from the plants, you're going to have her crowd control right as you run up to it. It's just not a good situation. And in jungle fights and in other situation team fights, she's good at doing damage and keeping the enemy from a distance. So if you can't get her, you sometimes want to ban her.
Alright, and looking at these 6 bans going on here in the chat. Jace, Kha'Zix, Amumu, Timu, Nidalee, Timu, I called him Timu, that's not right. There's not a U in that name. It has a bunch of vowels that aren't that. Jace, Teemo, Kha'Zix, Nidalee, Amumu, and Kale. Do you guys want to know why these guys are really banned? Because I can tell you why they're really banned. A lot of people don't know. But I'm only going to tell you if you guys want to know. If I get at least one yes, we'll see.
Oh, come on, Gandar. Tell us why they're banned.
I thought you knew. You don't know? Oh man. Well, hey, I can tell you. I thought you knew, but I remember you play in these, so you don't get to listen to the chat. Okay, yeah, you haven't been here for this, and they don't picked up in the VODs. So, Sukuriono wants to know why these champions are really banned. Jace gets banned by Cheese Enema. And do you know why this happens? Wowix owes Jace money. Okay? Jace has been trying to collect on that for a while. Wowix doesn't have any of that. He won't disclose exactly how much money he owes Jace, so I'm thinking it's a lot. Jace keeps trying to get in and mug him while he's playing League of Legends. And, I mean, you know, Summoner up there in the Summoner room, controlling champions and stuff like that. Good times, right? And the last thing that he needs is Jace busting into the Hall of Justice and blatting him and taking his wallet. Jace, totally banned. Kha'Zix once knocked over a lamppost because he couldn't stop staring at it. Bug, bright light, doesn't work. Amumu won't stop crying. It stains the carpet. Get out. Teemo is too short. There is a little height meter that says you must be at least this tall to League of Legends. Teemo, not tall enough. Now, he wears that hat, so sometimes he gets in because it artificially increases his height. No, we know better, Teemo. That's not okay. Nidalee, Nidalee won't stop being chased by the other cats in cat form, and we're just not going to have any of that. There needs to not be any cat chasing. Kale, on the other hand, won't take off that armor. Look, there's such a thing as, like, screenings and things like that when you go in for security reasons. And Kale is just like, no, armor stays on. We're like, well, Kale, come on. I mean, there's security protocols that have to be followed here. And Kale's like, no, I am an angel. And we're just tired of dealing with that. Too much paperwork. That's why they're really banned.
All that bureaucracy in the justice system.
Yep. Now, why don't you tell people why most people think they're banned?
Well, Jace is probably one of the more powerful attack damage carries you can get here in Dominion. If you give him just a little bit of crit through Infinity Edge, his auto attacks with his Cannon Form W can hurt. He can keep you at quite a bit of distance with his Cannon Form Q, especially when it's shot through his acceleration gate. You think you're safe, you're running through the jungle, you're sitting there on your point, all of a sudden just this blue sphere comes flying through the wall, hits you in the face, and hey, a bit of your health is gone. You try and turn on him, he can speed up through his own acceleration gate, he can knock you back with his hammer. And then he can...
Go on.
Alright, well anyway, going on to Kha'Zix, he's usually banned because he's got quite a lot of power on his Q, especially if he catches you out of position. It's just really powerful damage you don't want to see come flying at you, especially when combined with his leap, where he literally does come flying at you. It can clear most of the terrain here with a few exceptions. He can turn invisible, he can slow you and heal himself with spikes from a distance. It's just not a pleasant champion to be on the receiving end of. Amumu, as you saw last game, a lot of stuns, a lot of crowd control, hard to stop, hard to unseat. He is not a tank that you want your enemy to get a hold of. Teemo, he provides a lot of vision in the jungle with his shrooms. He can blind your enemy carries. And it also does quite a fair amount of damage if you happen to step on one. Nidalee, a lot of mobility, a lot of damage with her spear. She's got a nice heal, and a nasty side effect of her traps is if you step on one, not only are you going to be revealed for quite a long duration, but it also shreds your armor and magic resistance. And then you have Kale, who's not quite as strong as she used to be, but she's still a halfway decent pick. She's got a nice slow, she's got a nice little AoE on her auto attack, she's got the heal, and then her ultimate is basically invulnerability for a couple of seconds. Great for keeping a teammate alive, great for defending a point. It's just a very powerful kid all around.
Okay, Sukuriono, I don't understand the world anymore. The left team, Cheese Enema, against the right team, pays one child support. I'm gonna hit on some stuff on Cheese Enema's team. I want you to hit on some stuff on the other side team, because Hecarim and Varus are champions that we don't see very often, and I've seen Varus be really good, I've seen Hecarim be really good, but sometimes they tend to fall flat. Over on Cheese Enema's side, though, we've seen Vladimir played once in tournament play in a cast, and that was played by Sauron, maybe over a year ago. So it's been a long time since we've seen Vlad. Now, Vlad's ultimate is a serious damage increase. He has a lot of AoE as well, so he's good at multi-target disruption on point. If Vlad builds tanky, he can delay for quite a while. However, his damage usually is a little bit less, little kind of like, hey, we need a little bit more here. But his ultimate really helps out other members of his team, in which you have Victor, whose damage is really, really good, but he doesn't really have a lot of mobility. His stun is also kind of awkward to land because it has such a delay on it. Vi has been proven time and again to be a really solid champion. Volibear can be a pretty good tank. He's extremely durable, great sustain, has the throw, has good damage if he stays left alive. Pretty darn susceptible to kiting, though, is the unfortunate part. He doesn't have any sort of snap engage, he has to sort of run up on people. It's really rough. Vigor, who I've said for a long time is one of the best characters in this game mode, being picked by Wowix here. Wowix probably going to do something suboptimal, like take him into the bottom lane, which, no. His stun is amazing. The problem is, there's no one to follow up on Vigor's stun if he uses it. I'm not a fan of that pick in this situation, because Vigor throws down the event horizon. It's a very long duration stun. It's great for delaying. He can machine gun out his Q with some CDR and get it down to a really short cooldown, but there's really no AP on their team for him to outright erase, because he was such an early pick. They were able to kind of pick against that if they wanted to. And there's no AD carry to follow up on a great event horizon. There's just Victor, who can probably land his stuff anyway without much support. Maybe it'll help Vi close the gap. Maybe it's to help Volley close the gap. But I actually don't see where Vigor fits into this comp, other than the fact that their team is VVVVVV. What is going on, Sakuriono?
It could be some strategy that they've been working on for ages, and we just don't know the secrets of it.
I would like Vlad or Vigor in a game, but not both. And Cass is not an autoban person in the chat asking, Trevor Guard, which, hey, thanks for watching, thanks for checking us out, and Pinhead Larry69, thanks for watching the show. I don't recognize your names, so I appreciate you coming and checking us out today. It's good to have you here. So yeah, sorry to cut you off there, but just wanted to answer that guy.
No, it's no problem at all. I mean, just seriously trying to look at it, if I were going to assume anything, I would guess Vladimir might be their bottom lane choice in this case, which means they're going to potentially have Vigar and Victor top, which allows for quite a bit of AoE stun control, because if you look at the shape of their stuns, Vigar drops basically a giant circle on the enemy team, and if you run through the wall you get stunned, whereas Victor drops a circular stun/slow, where if you stand in it for long enough you get stun locked. So if you can actually time that right, Vigar can land the outer ring, Victor can land the inner ring. So if you stay in the inner ring, you're stunned. If you try to run out of Victor's ring, you run into Vigar's ring. At which case, you can either follow up with Vigar's event horizon and Victor's laser on a priority target. You could have Vi going in to suppress it. It's a possibility.
Ooh, I never thought about that combo. Vigar Event Horizon is set up for Victor's Gravity Well, I believe it's called. I don't see him in tournament play too often. But I feel like if they were doing like support Vlad, durable delay, because he has so much AoE, and they're going to be using that ultimate of Vlad's to capitalize on damage, I don't see anyone with sustained damage to really capitalize on that. So.
Yeah, that's going to be a small bit of a problem. Volibear can actually throw out a surprising amount of damage when he has
Lurch.
his ultimate up, but
Lurch on Vlad is probably going to be bottom lane Vlad, and Vlad has tons of sustain, so that's fine down there to have happen. That means Vigor up top, Vi, Volley, Vigor, Victor, and Vlad make up Cheese Enema. Vlad being played by Lurch, Wowix playing as Vigor, Bramers playing as Victor, MKH playing as Vi, and Krog playing as Volibear. Game 2 of your finals, Chase Evelynn Child Support versus Cheese Enema. Pays Evelynn Child Support up 1-0. Cheese Enema going with a very interesting team comp. I'm really excited to see how this plays out. Percent hype, ladies and gentlemen. I'm one half of your casters. I'm Gander, and casting with me is...
I'm Sakuriono, one of the local Dominion players for the team Dominionation.
Now, we don't have a lot of time left before the fight breaks out at the windmill, so what's your take on Hecarim being here? It looks like they're going to send Varus down bottom lane, which AD carry bottom lane. AD against Vlad, I kind of like that matchup for Infeed, and Infeed taking Varus down. There's 6 V champs in this game. this is going to be hard to cast. Taking Varus down in the bottom lane against Vlad. I really trust Infeed's ability down there with that, but I don't see a lot of Hecarim in competitive play. How do you think we're going to see his... How do you think we're going to see the impact of him up top? What do you think is going to be the result of that?
Hecarim I like to play every once in a while. He can do decently if he builds bulky early on. For me, personally, I kind of like to run a Glacial and Spirit Visage on him as core just to get that bulk and then build up damage through either a Brutalizer or a Last Whisper. If you can get him up to the tanky stage, he's really nice at dealing out some sustained damage. You can knock a high priority target into your group if you time your E right, and his ultimate's not bad for split second crowd control disruption. It's just kind of a risky pick because you pretty much have to basically play him right into a proper composition and hope that you're able to get your build off in time.
Dive up at the point with the revives. Going to keep it neutral for a little while there. Victor doing a little bit of damage to Sona. Vi getting picked off by Wukong over on the road towards the refinery. And Payzone Child Support is going to pick up the top point. However, look at this team comp. Vigor and Vlad don't really pick up some serious damage for a while, unfortunately.
It looks like they're going to get the gank out on Infeed successfully, though.
They are. Wowix going to pick that up. Wowix did pick that up with the Q as well. It looks like he's going for the Q max first, which is great because the cooldown on it is so short, especially if you get any sort of CDR on it. You can machine gun out those little shots for quite a bit of damage, even without farm. One of the things that I really like about him is his ability to do that. Victor, now, with the stun over there in the middle of the map, doesn't really connect with anyone. They are able to get out of the gravity well in time. Carnival now chasing after him. Vi getting taken down by Hecarim as well. Volley over at the drill, though, is going to pick up the neutral on that, which is good. Stops the clock temporarily, and no Nexus health damage to your turret is good. He gets slowed. Twisted Advance connects, though. Blueberry and Painkiller all over Volley right here. He walks out of the Maelstrom, very wise right there. You don't want to stand it. Don't fight Maokai in the circle. You never want to do that. Victor comes down to avenge Volley, and Vlad's ultimate on them there is going to enable Victor to do a little bit more damage, but I don't see the laser connecting, though. It looks like that was still down for a little bit, so kind of a subpar time to use that. So Victor dies, followed by Vlad, unfortunately. Hecarim picking up the double kill right there, and that ultimate, there just wasn't anything to follow that up. It tagged two champions, it looked great on paper, but Victor having used that earlier, and now Vigor in trouble down here at the bottom, throws down the Event Horizon, Twisted Advance through it, pops the Cyclone, and Vigor gets sent back to the Summoner platform as well.
Yeah, it's just going to take a little bit for Blue Team's composition to kick in, because there are some nice potentials here for some interesting combos full of shenanigans, but they basically need to get farmed up first for that to happen. That
double Garrison down there in the bottom, though, was very unfortunate. They both threw that down on the point, and so that's going to be a wasted Garrison. And she's on the side. Sona up here at the top. Sona loves minion money. Down at the bottom, Hecarim has to deal with Vic and Volley, and is doing some pretty good damage to Brown Bruiser right there, staying alive for a really long time. Varus comes up as well. Vlad pulls into the fight, and Vlad doesn't really have an escape mechanism in his kit, having used the pool to enter the fight. Doesn't have it to escape with, unfortunately.
Yeah, as you can see, even with the self-heal nerf on Dominion, Hecarim, if he gets a little bit of bulk on him, can actually sustain fairly well in a team fight. At least enough to keep himself alive to put out some sustained damage and delay for his team to catch up.
Looks like Mao is going to pick up this point there. And Victor heading down to the point with Vlad and Volley. Vic, Vlad, and Volley walk into Vadam Vane. Alright. Varus down here. Twisted Advance goes off. Defensive Garrison on the point. They want to keep that alive. Maelstrom goes down. Varus trying to kite away. Does not get stuck on the gravity well, which is very good, because that could have been serious disaster for him. Gets the vision off on Lurch there. Lurch pool is down right now, so doesn't have that to be able to escape with. Lurch doing some damage to Infeed. Is Victor going to be able to clean this up? He's looking for the laser, maybe? And doesn't connect with it, unfortunately. Throws down the gravity well. That doesn't connect either. Oh, barely. Looked like Infeed maybe got stunned there, but he is able to successfully pull off the recall and get away. Varus able to escape from Victor. Victor dies to Maokai, followed by Volley. And now Vegan Vlad are chasing them away. Armor break on Wukong right in there, but no damage to follow it up with. Unfortunately, there is only 180. Well, Volley has the bite, which can do a lot of damage. But not being in that engagement, though, there was no one to take advantage of that. Wowix by himself, trapped between Carnival, does pick up the Q kill on Wukong, though. He can add a little bit of AP, and gets sniped by Varus, unfortunately. Payzone and Child Support been securely in control of this game here.
Yeah, so far, just whatever their plan was going into this just hasn't been clicking for them at all. I'm kind of taking a look at Victor's build here out of curiosity. I see he's leveling the Q first, which makes me think that possibly we're going to see a Kite Victor, depending on if he chooses the Q power augment or not.
We'll have to wait and see how that plays out, if they are able to drag the game out long enough for that to play out the way it wants. Infeed down here in the bottom lane is really doing work over on the enemy team there. They don't really have anything that specifically counters AD, though, because Volley suffers on the initiation front. He's not going to be able to get to him, unfortunately. Victor has to wait for the stun on Gravity Wall to proc, and Vig has the best chance of being able to catch him, but Varus is usually so far back away from Vig that he's not going to get clocked with the stun at all. Vi, in the middle of the map, however, tries to get a hold of Varus, and is Infeed going to survive? Yes! Varus lives over V down the bottom lane, while Volley and V capture both of the bottom points. She's in control of 3 points for right now, which is good. They need that to drag out time to get further on in this game, because I think the later the game goes, the better it's going to be for them. It's going to allow Vlad to get into a little bit of a better situation. He hasn't completed the Boots 2 yet. He's got a Visage and a Codex, and he's going to want a little bit more than that for sustain. Brown Bruiser and Carnival having a little bit of disagreement over here. Carnival walks out of the Gravity Well, is killed by Victor, though, however, so he does pick up that kill. Vi and Vlad engaging Mao over at the refinery there. Pool for Lurch to get down out of the way, and now Blueberry gets a free trip back to the summit platform. And bottom point, Wowix doing a really good job of delaying this for a while down here, and V can be a very good delay with his using Event Horizon Zone, and he has that CDR right there. Let's see exactly how much Viger is rocking. Did I have him highlighted? There we go. Yeah, 24% CDR. So he doesn't have a lot naturally in his runes or masteries, though, to really be gunning anything out with. Here we go.
It should still be enough to make him a bit of a threat right now anyway. I find that most mages, once they hit 30%, that's when they start getting into their spam levels, and then once you hit that 40%, that's just critical mass.
And Victor, up at the top point there, with Vi keeping Sona busy, and oh, the Gravity Well zone, great right there by Brown Bruiser. Throws the Gravity Well down, throws the laser, makes sure Sona does not want to approach at all, and forces Sona to retreat into Vi. Now, the CC on Vi is going to take her down. Victor has some range, he can delay this for a little bit, but there's no backup anywhere near him on the map, so it's going to take him... he's going to have the plays if he wants to keep that neutral.
Yeah, since he's going for the Q level first, Victor's going to have a little bit more of a problem keeping two people busy for a long time. Once he starts getting into the late game and his W is leveled up and he's got all of his CDR, he can actually almost spam that gravity lock, but right now he can just kind of drop it in one opportune situation and then hope he doesn't get caught.
Krog Volley runs into the enemy team, unfortunately, and is killed. However, Lurch was able to chase Wukong back away from the point, and Lurch was able to pick up that tower. So it looks like Victor was able to delay for long enough, but now are they going to be able to hold this? They have 4 members of Payzone and Child Support to deal with, and there's just 2 of them. And Vi, lots of damage immediately on her. They kill her very quickly. They sweep up Vlad afterwards, and they're going to turn that around, despite the fact that defensive garrison was used on the tower. In the bottom lane, though, Varus is finding success there. Has to throw down the slow on Volley, and it looks like he's going to get... nope, not quite going to get the flings, unfortunately. Volley throws down the ultimate there. He really wants this fight to happen, but he's just not really able to connect with Infeed too well. Infeed, is he going to be able to get away? He throws down the dash. Krog finally gets the fling on him and takes him out. But this point was neutral for so long. Vlad heading down there to pick that up right now, and that's just a lot of extra Nexus health damage to cheese Enema. It's going to create more of a deficit for them to try and recover from.
Yeah, just in line with what you mentioned earlier, this is kind of the perfect matchup for Varus. I've always been kind of cagey of him of an ADC just because he doesn't have that escape mechanism, which is usually really important in Dominion. but since Volibear's Q can actually be surprisingly kiteable, if Vi's not around, Varus pretty much gets free range to pick off anybody he wishes.
And Carnival almost lived through that. The amount of damage that Vi and Volley can do when combined with each other because of Vi's armor reduction and Volibear's bite just doing a lot of damage to start out with, and Volibear with the mad crit going on here, is going to be pretty scary if he's able to get rolling. If he can team up with Vi like that, they can seriously kill some people. Hecarim, you know, doesn't really have a lot in the way of health right now, though, unfortunately. Naturally, he's a very tanky champion, but he hasn't really built anything for it, even though he does have the armor going for him. And MKH is going to pop the Youmuu's right there, trying to chase Painkiller down. Painkiller circles around to interrupt Brown Bruiser. Minions chipping away at the tower. It looks like they are going to get the neutral off on Minions alone, and Sona gets killed. However, Mao comes up to the top here with backup, and I don't think things look very good for Victor right now. You can see him going for that slow right there, though. It gets tagged. We're looking for one Nimbus Strike combo from Panzers here. Throws do good zone from Brown Bruiser, keeps him alive a little bit longer. Panzers just decides to wait it out right there. And both of them kind of know they can't really catch the other one too well. So Panzer's going to go for this bottom point here. Victor, let's see if he... No, Victor's going to go for the ballsiest recall ever. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Wants to bait them out for some reason there. Keeps them away from that point. Hecarim over here dealing with Volley, chasing him away from the drill. Crowd getting low on health there, kiting Hecarim around. Hecarim is able to connect, though. Throws the ultimate down there just to seal the deal on the kill. And now Vihan gets to the top of the map.
Yeah, I'm guessing Wukong and Victor there just basically had a gentleman's agreement, but trees don't care for those things.
No, they don't. Because whatever Wukong and Victor did would dictate what the other one did, so they both just stopped, which tied both of them up. So it was a very... You don't see that happen too often, but it's a case of, well, if you attack me, I'm gonna move away, and if I attack you, you're gonna move away. So just stood there and kept each other busy. The threat of doing something.
I guess Victor understood the ultimate weakness of monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, he's very well versed in that. Wowix kiting, wow, shutting down Maokai in a one-on-one. Wowix Vigor, there you go. That is pretty strong. Catching him with the Dutes at the end right there to pick up the kill. MKH is slowed. No, Panzers, you cannot have Vi. She is able to dash away, just barely there. Brown Bruiser, though, is going to get caught out. Infeed coming up to pick up an assist on that as well. And Volley, Crowd, going to go over for the drill there, because everyone's on the wrong side of the map. Volley will get the neutral on this. I don't know about the full capture, though, unfortunately. And it looks like, seeing that, they're going to respond by going for the refinery themselves.
Yeah, Volibear's just having a field day back here. He got the full channel off on the Boneyard, he got half off on the drill, and it looks like he wants to pay Windmill a visit next.
By going to Windmill, it should keep Wukong away from the refinery. Or, oh, no, it looks like they're going to count on Hecarim's movement speed, maybe, to get there in time in order to stop Volibear from being able to capture that, because it is the quest objective point. That damage bonus could be really good for them if they're able to get it. Seconds away. Is Hecarim going to get there in time? Yes, just barely. He is able to connect. And now with Mao following up, once Mao gets there, he is going to be able to sort of shut that push down for a while. Lots of damage on Blueberry right there. Crowd staying alive with that Chosen of the Storm. And Wowix, is Wowix going to be able to pick up another Pit of Farm? Yes, he is able to pick up another one with that Q damage right there. Only 79 AP from that Baleful Strike so far this game. They pick up the Windmill, they pick up the damage bonus. However, they lose the Quarry in the process, unfortunately.
Yeah, topside, that was a nice save on the part of
Oh, nice dunk by Vi on Wukong. Varus coming down here. Nice straight lines. Perfect for Varus to interrupt. Gets every single one of them. Things don't look good for him. The Hex Drinker, looks like, yeah, Hex Drinker has proc there. He gets the flings, and that's not so good. They could break someone off for Boneyard, but looks like they want to get a couple enemy champions down first before they try and make that play. MKH low on health, but they don't have vision in order to be able to finish them off. That's why the Clairvoyance is there. Shows them exactly where MKH is, so that MKH could not try and get in range from the opposite side to come in and snipe anyone out. CV sort of saving the game right there. Vi not able to escape from Hecarim, unfortunately. Tries to go for the quick recall, doesn't get it.
It looks like topside, Maokai and Hecarim have reclaimed the Windmill, and now they're coming down to join Painkiller and Infeed in the team fight against Wawix.
And look at the region that Event Horizon shuts down. That's why I like it so much. Oh, just barely not able to make it. Veigar gets picked off as well. They don't get that ace that they were looking for, though. If you look at these builds right here, perfectly symmetrical fighting seems to solve problems. Garrison there goes off on the tower. Crowd trying to keep it alive for as long as possible. They're very heavily committed to the bottom, but they didn't leave anyone up top at all. So Vi is going to turn that point around fully before anyone can get there.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be a 1v1 exchange, though, since they clean up the fight down here at the bottom point.
So while Vi is going to get that tower, she is not going to be able to hold it very long with the enemy team able to move up there and take it. But we'll see how long she can delay this point for. Hecarim immediately goes around behind.
Yeah, he's just going to charge right into this.
Ooh, once the shutdown Painkiller is able to do so. However, MKH gets banished back to the summoner platform that time. Volley says no. That's not going to happen. And he just goes straight for the drill, knowing that if he can neutral the drill, it does stop the clock and will drag out the game further. Lurch is going to zone Booberry away, and the defensive garrison on this point is going to delay them from capturing it. Maokai, is he going to lock this down long enough to take this game home?
No, but it looks like Volibear's gotten chased off, and with Hecarim in pursuit, he's likely not going to be able to get a clean channel on the windmill either. However, it does look like Purple Team has ignored the neutral point there in the middle, so the clock will remain frozen.
Sona down here by herself. Mao heading down in the same direction, though. If they can get the neutral off on this, that's going to delay the game out even further, and they desperately need that delay right now. Varus coming down here, though, and Varus being able to engage from the back like that, he's able to put out a lot of hurt on Vi immediately. Point, unfortunately, does not get neutral. They were able to respond to that well. Point, the clock still stopped. Panzers, go win the game. Nope, Panzers not interested in winning the game. They might not be aware that the point is neutral. Sometimes you get really into the game, you're not looking at your minimap. Bottom point neutral, Lurch is like a little bit of deny right there, throws down the ultimate. Veigar's just kind of camping out. That minion will kill you, Wowix. Don't do it. Okay.
Yeah, Purple Team has been ahead of these fights so far, and they could be just extending the game for fun. However, due to the comeback mechanics of Dominion, this could be a potentially dangerous thing to do, as the greater the difference in the points between the winning and losing team, the faster your enemy revives. And if you give them too great of a respawn timer, it can be really hard to unseat them from their winning position.
Red team has captured the drill.
It looks like Evelynn Child Support does pick up that bottom tower, and they are going to take home the game.
Blue team has captured the windmill.
And that is going to close things out for us. Evelynn Child Support is going to win the game and the series now with the 2-0 over Cheese Enema. And they are going to be your champions for this week.
Yeah, if nothing else, I'd say the fight was fun just for getting to see some of these lesser picks come into play. Seeing Veigar, you don't get to see that often, neither Varus nor Victor.
Alright. And that's all we have for you guys today. You can see all the spells, items, everything going on right here for you. Let's take a look at the damage dealt and the time spent dead. Here. Alright. Where is it? Let's see. Physical damage to champions. There we go. Let's see. Oh, that's total damage dealt. There we go. Okay. Haha! Got it. Maokai winning by a little bit of a landslide right there with 34K. Everyone on Cheese Enema not quite up as much because, well, they, a lot of movement around the map, a lot of getting picked off, unfortunately, so they didn't have a lot of time alive in order to really apply that DPS, though. So, Maokai with the most there. Volley getting in not quite as much as you would expect from Volley, but he didn't really get time to sit down DPS engagements. The way Volley works, he has to get those hits in first before he can really deliver damage with the bite.
Yeah, across the boards on the death timers too, it looks like blue team's death timers on average just are almost double that of purple's, so that also probably hurt their ability to put out damage as well.
Alright, and let's take a look at, find our graveyard hero for the game before we say goodbye to you all today. Graveyard hero this game is going to be Vi with 254. And that's all we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. This has been DominateDominion.com League of Legends Dominion Tournament number 58. Your winners this week are going to be Pays Evelynn Child Support with a 2-0 victory over Cheese Enema. Make sure to follow the Twitch page button on the little bottom left-hand corner of the screen that you're watching this on now, if you're on the Twitch page. Follow them on Twitter at DominateDom, and give them a like on Facebook, facebook.com/DominateDominion. You can follow me and my media on YouTube, youtube.com/VatoClan. Go subscribe. If you like the channel, if you're watching videos already and you're not subbed, please sub. Other people really care about those numbers. Me, I like my views going up, but other people want to know how many subs I have when I ask them about business-related things. So give that a click if you watch the videos. And you can follow my gaming clan on Twitter at VatoClan. Scriono, anything you want to say to everybody before we head out of here?
I guess Rebel will chew me out if I don't. Every couple of days or so, I usually stream Dominion games on my Twitch channel, so if you're by the Dominion forums and you see my topic bumped and you just want some casual Dominion games to watch, stop on by.
Alright, cool. So Sakurion does a little bit of streaming, I do a little bit of this, and we will see you guys here next week. Congratulations, Pays Evelynn Child Support, on winning, and we will see you guys next time.